The word Halloween is a contraction of All Hallows Evening. In the Catholic calendar, All Hallows Eve is the night before All Saints' Day. Until 1956, Halloween was a liturgical vigil, but its timing coincided with a pagan tradition originating in Ireland and Scotland. As such, Halloween combines both Catholic and pre-Christian ceremonies. What was this ancient ceremony about? Among the Celts, October 31st marked the feast of Samhain, the end of the harvest season and beginning of winter. At this time, the veil between the material world and the spirit world was thought to be thinnest, allowing fairies and ghosts to enter our world. The souls of the dead would visit their relatives, and fairies would demand offerings of food and drink in exchange for not plaguing the villagers with disease or famine. To celebrate Samhain, druids lit bonfires to protect the village, and the villagers would hold feasts and invite the spirits to enjoy their hospitality. People would go from house to house in disguise, reciting verses or blessings in exchange for nuts, apples, and soul cakes, in imitation of the spirits. And they played pranks, especially on neighbors too stingy to donate. The masqueraders frequently lit their way using hollowed-out turnips with a candle inside, which became the first jack-o'-lanterns. But how did this tradition make it to the United States, which is neither predominantly Celtic nor Catholic? The Great Irish Famine of the mid-19th century prompted large-scale immigration to North America. Between 1820 and 1930, some 4.5 million Irish emigrated to the United States. With them, they brought Halloween traditions, which were so appealing to mainstream America that, by the 1920s, Halloween had become an unofficial national holiday, with Halloween parties and parades, trick-or-treating, and jack-o'-lantern carving. Turnips large enough to make a lantern are rare in the United States, so the larger and more plentiful pumpkins were substituted. What is modern Halloween in North America all about? The core practice is trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating has been around as long as Halloween, and nearly always takes place on October 31st in the late afternoon and evening. Trick-or-treating is a form of masquerade, and indeed the only unique American form of folk masquerade. These home movies from the 1950s, 60s, and 80s show a practice that has not changed much in nearly a century. Children dress up in costumes and go from house to house, exclaiming, "Trick or treat!" In response, they get candy, popcorn balls, caramel apples, or some other prize. Halloween masquerade can involve masks or face paint. Costumes may be bought ready-made in stores or homemade by the trick-or-treater's family. In the past, children's costumes focused on the menacing, such as devils, pirates, witches, ghosts, or hostile Indians. In some places, racist stereotypes were popular. Over time, they began incorporating characters from popular movies and fiction, such as the Lone Ranger, Zorro, or Snow White. As the cast of cultural characters grew, movie monsters, such as zombies and werewolves, and superheroes such as Batman and Wonder Woman, gained popularity. Originally, if trick-or-treaters wore masks, they were made from cloth and hand-painted or decorated. Among the poorest, paper might be used instead. Since the 1940s, inexpensive rubber or plastic masks have been the most popular. However, the art of mask making has advanced through new materials and technologies, such as latex, foam rubber, and silicone. The implication of trick or treat is that if the neighbor does not distribute a treat, the children will play a prank on him or her, like malevolent spirits.
Trick or treat. Thank you.
In practice, this rarely happens.
Trick or treat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I got a lemon head.
Oh, nice. Yeah? You should see my husband. He did the fake mouth.
Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like your mask.
Sometimes the neighbors will dress up as well and try to frighten the children a bit, just for fun. Trick-or-treating builds community by expressing the values of sharing, friendliness, family togetherness, and group fun through masquerade. Children love it for the candy, adventure, and make-believe. Many adults cherish the magical evenings scarcely less. Some neighbors express their Halloween spirit by decorating their house and yard for the season. Decorations can range from the grim and menacing, to the festive and silly, to the outright gory. On the festive side, these homeowners in North Phoenix stage a show of lights using hundreds of modern and vintage light-up jack-o'-lanterns and other Halloween decorations.
They're near, they're gone, they're there, they're quick and slick, they're insincere. Beware, beware, be a very wary bear. A heffalump-a-roozle is very confused. A heffalump-a-roozle is very sly. Sly!
On the scarier side, the decorations sometimes reach an extreme that bespeaks a full-on commitment to Halloween. This family in Central Phoenix puts on a free outdoor haunted house called Phoenix Dead Rising, to the delight of neighborhood children and visitors who come from miles around to appreciate the theme park-like decorations and spooky experience.
Giant oak doors slowly sway.
The tradition of decorating the home eventually merged with popular myths about homes that had been haunted by restless spirits, and fully staffed haunted houses were born, like Nightmare on 13th in Salt Lake City, Utah. With modern animatronics, trained actors, and elaborate scenes, visitors are shepherded through and scared or creeped out at every turn. Commercially operated haunted attractions have now become a popular feature of Halloween. Haunted houses and theme parks typically open in late September or early October and continue until just after Halloween. They provide a personal scare experience, often with elements of humor to relieve the tension. We're watching the staff of Reaper's Revenge prepare for the night's entertainment. Reaper's Revenge is a legendary haunted theme park that occupies 60 acres. That's 1/4 square kilometer of forest near Scranton, Pennsylvania. It includes a haunted hayride, an outdoor spooky circus called the Lost Carnival, the terrifying pitch-black haunted house, and an alien laboratory gone wrong, known as Sector 13. There are many haunted attractions in the United States, but a few stand out for sheer size and variety of experience. The carving of jack-o'-lanterns remains a core Halloween tradition. It's an activity that develops the creativity of children and creates a unique opportunity for family members to bond over a shared goal.
That's gonna come out.
They do that.
You're welcome.
Whoa, what is God?
after. You're just getting all that out of there.
Wow, really?
Everybody smile.
Smiling
We're gonna be having
pumpkin.
pumpkin seeds for a while.
We're gonna be
Let's make
so
pumpkin
many pumpkins. For those of you who are more slimy inclined.
Oh yeah, and they're way too.
Carving very fast before the spirits got
The family chooses a pumpkin, cuts a hole in the top, and removes the insides. The seeds may be kept and toasted for eating. Faces are designed and carved to represent scary or silly personalities.
disproportionate.
What do you do that?
There's no time no
Oh, that's so cute.
Finally, a candle is placed inside the finished jack-o'-lantern to decorate the house or patio at night. Some sculptors have taken pumpkin carving to a high art. Ray Villafane has been called the Michelangelo of pumpkin carving. Villafane leads a team of pumpkin carvers to produce the most artistic and expressive pumpkins in the world.
I started off sculpting many years ago. I think I was a school teacher for 13 years, and while I was a school teacher, a student brought in a pumpkin that he had grown, and I decided to try and carve that, but instead of carving it with a knife like a traditional jack-o'-lantern, I decided to use some clay sculpting loops. These are tools that you usually use for ceramics and clay work. I shaved the pumpkin instead of like cutting through, and just gently worked my way to a three-dimensional face. It was so much more fulfilling, to me at least, than the standard jack-o'-lanterns with the triangle eyes and whatnot. From then I had the bug. I was bit, and I've been carving pumpkins ever since. There's something special about putting a face on a vegetable or a fruit like a pumpkin. It just comes alive, and it's something that you typically don't see. You know, you see jack-o'-lanterns in a traditional triangle way, but when you see a three-dimensional face carved on a pumpkin, it's just like this instant whimsical feel that the pumpkin comes alive, and then you add these little limbs that I've made to make them look like they're walking and animate their body, and it's just a really magical experience, and it's been a perfect canvas for me to tell stories with. I have an incredible team, and it gets refined each year. We do more than just carving. There's the storytelling, prop making, and stuff. And at the core of it is this sort of playful nature that I look for when I'm looking for, team members to work with. We have sculptors from all over the world, as far away as St. Petersburg, Moscow, Ohio, New York City, Iowa, Idaho. I bring in the best of the best, no matter where they live, and bring them here, and we work on a yearly event here in Arizona. You wouldn't normally think of Arizona as being you think of Halloween, usually you think of New England or somewhere where you could feel fall weather and see the fall leaves, but there's a perfect fit here in the desert. It makes it almost makes it like Dr. Seussish. It's kind of like seeing cacti and stuff against the pumpkins. It just it's a bit more crazy, and I love it.
Each Halloween, Villafane organizes an enchanted pumpkin garden in carefree Arizona, with pumpkin-based scenes, traditional autumn food like pumpkin pies and apple cider, games, rides, and even a haunted house for children. Parties are another typical feature of Halloween. Halloween parties date back to the earliest celebrations and are frequently a masquerade or costume party. Activities include bobbing for apples, a tradition that dates back to 19th century Ireland and may include best costume contests, with small prizes for the winners. Halloween parties have not changed much. The main developments are more sophisticated home decorations and the creative uses of dry ice and scary-looking foods. Some party hosts make a science out of food decoration, giving every treat offered to their guests a spooky, gory, or simply revolting twist. A final and long-standing Halloween tradition is the parade. Many cities and towns in North America organize Halloween parades, sometimes composed entirely of masqueraders, sometimes as zombie walks, occasionally with floats and puppets, and sometimes with all of these. The largest in North America is the Greenwich Village Halloween Parade, which takes place every October 31st in southern Manhattan, New York. The Village Parade is organized by volunteers and features thousands of marching masqueraders, floats, puppets, body painters, marching bands, and even a team of zombie dancers that reenact part of the late Michael Jackson's epic Thriller music video from 1983. Some of the paraders will go on to use their costumes for trick-or-treating with their children. Others just enjoy the pageantry. creativity of some costumes is astounding. Halloween was not originally a holiday for children. It was a ritual conducted mainly by adults to appease the spirits, fairies, and ghosts. Although it has evolved into a holiday focused on children, it continues to appeal to adults. Is it our superstition that makes it appealing? Or the child inside us? Or are the mystic and the child the very same?